But if we have multiple offers on something that's renovated yesterday and is just ticking all the boxes for every other buyer, you're gonna get beat out. The sellers are definitely still very unreasonable as far as what their asking price is for these properties. So if you're a seller watching this, don't call me if that's you. Oh, what's going on, guys? I want to take out the jet ski because it's freaking beautiful outside right now, but it's also that time of the week to where I need to record a video. So why not just knock out two birds, one stone? I'll bring y'all with me out in the jet ski. We get to go have fun out in the water, and I'll answer some questions about living in Vero Beach. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so starting this video off on a good note here, I'm just gonna kind of briefly go over things to do in Vero Beach, the lifestyle here. It is a very outdoor type of surrounded type of lifestyle. I mean, we do have arts and that sort of thing, and events and crafts that happen all the time. My wife and son are both up in New Jersey right now while I'm filming this. So what I'm doing here is this whole weekend was kind of a revisit to my family. So my sister and I haven't hung out in a long time, but we went golfing over at Vista Royale. It's like 30 bucks to go ahead and book that type of tee times. And then we also went here, my mom and I actually took the jet ski out here on Memorial Day, and it was insanely packed. I mean, all these places, you see one boat back there, this was lined up with boats like you would not believe. Really just kind of shows you, if you're gonna live here, this is the lifestyle. This is what you need. You probably need a boat, otherwise you're missing out on a lot of things to do, or a jet ski. But anyway, it works. It gets you out here, it gets you with people, it gets you around the community, shows you exactly what everyone's lifestyle is whenever they're doing this type of thing. Now, if you're not a boat owner, or anything to that matter, if it's not in the budget or whatever, I would still encourage you to look into something called Freedom Boat Club. And Freedom Boat Club is to where, like, if you don't want to take on the maintenance of, upkeeping a boat. So Freedom Boat Club solves that problem, and they do have launches here to where you can call ahead. They'll put the boat in the water for you, you bring it back. They'll even, pack it down with ice if you want. All sorts of different cool things can be done with Freedom Boat Club. And then also too, you're not really limited to that. I went to the beach yesterday as well. I worked over at the Kempton Hotel. So guys, that's part of the lifestyle here. And this is just the kickstart of it because summer just started. And also too, guys, if you were interested in picking up a set of jet skis, I've been in the market looking for it. That's actually my parents there. We've had it since I was a kid. I've been looking online. There's some deals to be had. So I know that there is a pair of 2022, I believe, Sea-Doo jet skis with a twin trailer for like $10,000. So definitely an opportunity to be had to get out in the water. Another thing I wanted to talk about too is the community and events. So one of them was a mullet fest, which I thought was pretty cool. So obviously I don't grow any kind of mullets. I like to keep it pretty short because my hair is super curly. But yeah, they had a mullet fest there, boat shows to kick off the summer. We have music fests and block parties, Vero Beach Seafood Festival, all sorts of things and everything that you can think of to kind of keep the community together, keep people active and getting to know each other and just having that neighborly type of feel, which I didn't get when I was in Orlando, to be honest. Like, we would pull into our neighborhood, no one would look at you, no one would wave. It was a very different feeling than where I am right now. So I walk into my neighborhood, all the neighbors want to get to know you, they all want to talk to you. We have pastries and cookies and all that kind of stuff brought over to our house on a regular basis because we have a 2-year-old son. Just a very slowed down, different type of lifestyle than what we had when we were in Orlando. I think those big cities kind of lose that connection. Here in Vero, we've got the perfect balance of things to do, but also that smaller community style of living and neighborhoods. Alrighty guys, now it's time to kind of shift gears a little bit. I know I just spent time babbling about all the positives and amazing things about Vero, but let's talk a little bit about insurance because I did want to address some concerns that people have. First of all, is with homeowners insurance is not as hard and as bad as it used to be. So back whenever Hurricane Ian hit, that was a terrible time for insurance in Florida. I mean, everything seemed to jack up. All these companies were leaving and that sort of thing. And that was a couple years back. Now we're having new companies move in, and I'm seeing those low policies that I saw before Ian coming back. So we've gotten a couple policies for you know, starting at about $1,500 for newer construction, maybe villas, you know, the attached villas with all the hurricane requirements, like no flood zone, impact windows, maybe tile or metal roof, you know, all the extra nails in the trusses and that sort of thing. That's code now, so that has to be, you know, done regardless of what kind of roof you have. And there's just a lot of different opportunities that I'm seeing with the insurance market with these new companies moving in that's making it easier for homeowners to fit that insurance bill in their budget. So that's one positive note here about the homeowners insurance, but it still is higher. I mean, I pay $2,700 a year, and I think it just went up to $3,200 a year, and I'm in a 2017 concrete block house with no flood zone. So that's a good one there. So new construction, like I said, you can get the 15s to 2,500. And if you're looking at an older house that might need a roof replacement here soon, coming up on that 10-year mark, which mine would be 2027, I'll need a new roof. According to the insurance, it'll be over 10 years old for that shingle roof. Then they start kind of jacking up the rates as you get closer to that. So just know that before you start coming in here. And then also too, we will be happy to help you identify either new construction homes, resales with the right renovations done, and all the things touched on that the insurance can do. And another thing that I like to mention too, I always tell this to my clients, put shop insurance during the inspection period. So built into the inspection period or built into the contract that we write for your offer. So let's say we write an as-is contract on a resale home. You get anywhere between 7 to 15 days to inspect that property. And during that inspection period, we like to get the inspector in there in like day 2, day 3, right? So we have that inspection report in our hand within the first couple days. Then I blast those 4-point and wind mitigation inspections off to my insurance rep, and that insurance rep can then shop the insurance prices. So if those insurance prices puts you out of your budget, or it's just like absolutely astonishing number that you just can't afford, then yeah, we can go ahead and cancel that contract. You get your deposit back, and the only thing that you're out of money for is the cost of the inspection, which is a few $100. That's just something we like to do for our clients, and we'll be, trust me, watching your back on those purchases. Alrighty guys, so the next topic I wanted to touch on is with property taxes. So a lot of times, you know, I'll send a property out to a client. They'll love everything about it. Like, oh my God, Andrew, this has the perfect pool, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and the right location. This is exactly what we're looking for. Hey, quick question for you. What are the property taxes on this property? And typically what I'll say to that question is, it really doesn't matter, especially whenever the property has homestead exemption on it, because what the homeowner is paying for property taxes is not what you are going to be paying. So when you ask that question, what are the taxes on this property, it's honestly irrelevant, because if they have homestead exemption on it for any amount of years, they have locked in that assessed price in the amount that does not exceed 3% year over year. So if it's assessed at $200,000, then it will increase 3% year over year. You know, if property values go up, it can only go up that 3% if they homesteaded the property. So that is a huge confusion factor with a lot of my clients. So they think like, oh my God, Andrew, this house here listed for $400,000 and only paying $1,500 a year in property taxes. How can we get our hands on that? You can't. Unfortunately, they're going to be reassessing these houses. And once it's reassessed, you're going to be paying a much larger bill for those property taxes, and it's really kind of hard to gauge what those property taxes will be too. So just know that going in, that whenever you see the property taxes, ask me or ask your realtor, whoever they may be, if they're paying or if they have homestead exemption on the property. So that would make a huge difference based off of it. If they don't have homestead exemption and it's a seasonal residence, for instance, or just a second residence or a rental property or something where they don't have homestead exemption, then you're going to be pretty close to the mark of what you're going to be paying after it's reassessed, or not even reassessed at all. But I know that they do take a second look at it after a property changes hands. So that's a big thing for you guys to remember. So guys, just know to go ahead, and if this is going to be your homesteaded property, if this is going to be your full-time residence, go ahead as soon as you're done closing on the property, file for homestead exemption. Just wanted to quickly show you ircpa.org. So first of all, I just Googled Indian River County homestead exemption. Click this right here, and it brought you right there. So we've got all sorts of things, videos that explain what homestead exemption is, other homestead other exemptions that you can get. So whether that's disabled veterans, you know, there's some other things there too, which you can take advantage of. So if you're new to it, this is the place to find out everything about homestead exemption. Jumping into another topic here, looking at my handy dandy notes to keep me from babbling on too much. I wanted to touch on cost of living. So we've already kind of briefly discussed it. We know property taxes are going to go up, of course, as they always will. That's a guarantee of life.
Guaranteed.
So you've got the property taxes going up, you've got the insurance that's a little bit harder to do, but it's gone up and then come settle back down a little bit to a more reasonable rate. All sorts of other things too, which I'm sure you're seeing at your hometown as well. Inflation is hitting us, we're not immune to it. We're still finding some good deals on gas, you know, low threes as far as price per gallon for regular and leaded. Groceries are all going up, of course, and I don't even really need to dive into those kind of details, to be honest, but cost of living here is not very inflated comparative to other places. I mean, you can go to the bigger cities, the Tampas, the Miamis, the Orlandos, and I'm sure that things are priced a little bit higher just because of the population that you have there and the demand for it, and the demographics can handle it. So I did want to touch on affordable areas.
Not here.
As far as real estate goes right now, where I'm seeing the best deals. So there's big opportunities like Hampton Park, for instance. Welcome to Hampton Park. Yes, I know. The houses are this far apart, literally. I mean, it's like, it's very, very close together construction. Am I a big fan of that? No. But if you want a new construction house with lower insurance bills, then you can look at it as an option. And it is the most affordable new construction neighborhood in Vero Beach right now. If you want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with significant square footage, or even a 3-car garage house, I know that they're starting to lower those prices a little bit. The sign says starting from the 400s, but we're now getting offered houses in the 375 range, and the location cannot be beat, to be honest. This is 8th Street and 58th Avenue. Just know that the location is very central. I live one red light north of that neighborhood, so it's super. I mean, I could ride a bike there in 5 minutes. It's pretty crazy. Another one, if you wanted to go up a tier as far as a builder goes, I always recommend GHO. You know, they're one of my favorites. And High Point is another good opportunity. I know that they're starting in like the mid to high 500s. You can get a very nice 3-car garage, 1,899 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, plus a den, I believe. It's called the Cordella Gym. Almost 2,000 square feet, 3-car garage in a beautiful neighborhood where they don't pack the houses inches away from each other. They're very reasonably spaced out. And then the last neighborhood I will mention is Harbor Isle by Devasta. There's really good opportunity there. What I love about Harbor Isle is that you're actually walking distance from the river. There's a walking trail in the neighborhood to where you can launch kayaks and do all sorts of fun things to take you to this river. So you've got a walking trail in the neighborhood that goes there. You're gonna have a Publix that's gonna be built right next to the neighborhood for your convenience. And then also too, you're just right over the bridge. So you could ride a bike to the beach and be there in less than 10 minutes. And then last but not least thing that I wanted to touch on is the status of the market right now. What are we seeing? Are we still putting houses under contract? Are offers still being made? The answer is yes, but with a caveat. On the right houses, offers are being made. And we are seeing some new construction offer more incentives. So maybe this is a sign. Are we seeing houses go up for sale and then selling quickly? If they're priced correctly and if they're the right house. So let's say, for instance, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a pool in the right area, with a new roof, under $500,000. If it's nicely renovated inside and it's not a dump, it moves like... The right houses are moving quickly. You have to move very quickly on it. If you're out of state right now, don't worry, because you can give us a call and we can go through and do a video tour of a property. So you guys have seen my video tours time and time again on this channel. What I could do is I can actually drive to the property, schedule a showing, get into the house, bring out my camera, and do a full walkthrough where I'm pointing out every little flaw that I see, because the pictures do a good job of showing you how nice the property is, but what it doesn't do is highlight the downsides of the property. So I promise you, what I do is when we drive to the property, we always make sure that we look around for the not pretty things. We're gonna go through and tell you exactly what it needs and our real thoughts, our raw, real thoughts when walking through the property, just to give you, like, as if we were shopping for you, if we're shopping for a parent, whatever it may be. What I am also noticing is we're getting a lot of sellers calling us, trying to ask us to list their home, and we're turning down a lot of them. And the reason why we're turning down a lot of listings is because they just simply want too much money for their house. They don't want to price the property correctly. Here's the mentality, right? If you're a seller, the market's hot, It's ready to go. My house is worth $1 million. Let's go ahead and get it up on the market now. I know it's gonna sell like that. Okay, that's seller's mentality right now. Buyer's mentality is the market's crashing. I can come in there with cash and make, you know, all these adjustments and, you know, ask for this off and that off. And yes, that's true. I mean, we can definitely do that with the right property. But if we have multiple offers on something that's renovated yesterday and is just ticking all the boxes for every other buyer, you're gonna get beat out. 10 times out of 10, regardless of if you're cash or not. There's different spectrums here, and the sellers are definitely still very unreasonable as far as what their asking price is for these properties. So I've been noticing that a ton, and with on the market and with sellers calling me. So what we're also getting is realtors who just say yes for everything. Yes, yes, yes. Take the listing. That's what these brokers tell you sometimes. Just take the listing. You can always price reduce later, which is true. I won't fault them for that. But a lot of times I can kind of feel out if these sellers are real motivated to move or not. Like, do they need to sell? And I'll turn down a lot of them that are just throwing it up on the market to see if they can make a quick buck and at an unreasonable price. That doesn't interest me at all. So if you're a seller watching this, don't call me if that's you. Because we like to sell properties, price it aggressively, right at the market value to stir up demand, get a lot of buyers in there, and then also sell it at a quicker and higher rate versus starting up high and having a price reduce until, you know, no one's interested anymore and it's a dull product at that point. That's the wrong strategy, but a lot of realtors do it, which is why a lot of people are seeing a oversaturation in inventory right now. Something I wanted to point out, something I had to say, get off my chest there too. So guys, that's it. I am a realtor here all up and down the stretch of the Florida East Coast. We'll make sure to take care of you. I've got a team, best team, honestly, relocation team on this part of the coast that we try to, you know, live up to that name. Anyway, guys, that is the type of attention and detail that we'll make sure to give you whenever moving over here. And of course, we can help you, you know, sell your home if you're local and that sort of thing too. So guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go enjoy this beautiful sunshine and day out in the water. I mean, look how flat it is. Insane. All right, see you guys.